What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Cream Reviews. On today's review show, we got the 2022 Royal Rumble. I know I'm a little late, but better late than never. I figure I better have this up before we get Raw tonight and we have some fallout. So we're going to get into it. But before we do, just a quick bit of business. Hey, take a minute, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for more Cream reviews in the future. And while you're at it, go visit the main channel, Travo and Cream Pro Wrestling Podcast, the Wrestling Review Tag Team. Link in the description. Check us out. We have a lot of great stuff there. All right, with all the business out of the way, let's jump into the Royal Rumble. Watched it Saturday night, had a couple of friends over. It was a great time. Some parts of the show I did have a problem with though, so we'll get to that when we get there. But kicked off with the pre-show at 7 Eastern, and there was no match on the pre-show, so already a huge down for the show. I was hoping to get like an Usos versus, the Viking Raiders tag title match, or just something, man. Like don't just talk the whole pre-show. Like your show's going to go till 12. Let me get some early action. Let the people that are watching it free get a match, and that might entice them to subscribe to Peacock, but they're gonna do what they do. They make millions of dollars. Who am I? I'm just some guy on the internet. But the main show kicked off with Seth freaking Rollins versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. This was a great match. I read somewhere online, I didn't read the article that was attached to it, that this match got 6 stars. And I could see why they would say that this was a great match. Before the match, Roman comes out first. Seth comes down in the Shield vest and old gear to the Shield theme, and he comes down through the crowd, really, really getting under Roman's skin, and that would play into the story of the match. So they went for a while, just exchanges after one another. Go watch this match. This was definitely one that you could go back and check out and watch again. My favorite move of the match, Roman goes for a spear and Seth counters it with a pedigree out of midair. It was just nasty. The ending saw Roman locking in the guillotine and then Seth getting to the ropes. It looked for a minute as he was like he was passed out, but then the ref did the hand thing, where they pick it up and drop it, and Seth's hand fell on the rope, so that calls for a rope break. Roman refuses to break the hold. He gets disqualified by the referee. Your winner by disqualification, Seth freaking Rollins, but he does not win the Universal Championship. This was a bummer ending to a great match. Like, this was a good opener, These guys, lots of history there. The feud was built pretty well. I had my quarrels with it, but it all paid off in the end. I do wonder where they're going to go from here. More on that here in a little bit, but after the match, Roman gets a steel chair and beats down Seth a bit for his crimes. So that's how that ended. Not the last time we would see Roman on the show, however. Next match, we had the 30 Women's Rumble match. And this, out of the 2 Rumble matches, this was the better one. The women definitely put in a better performance. There was better surprise entrance, better story told in this Rumble match. So it started off, number 1 was Sasha Banks. She had some cool Sailor Moon gear. Number 2 was returning legend Melina. And they duke at it for a minute, but Sasha Banks eliminates Melina pretty quickly. So, not much going there. She had to wait on number 3 to come down, so not a huge return for Melina here. Number 3, we had Ain't None Meaner Than Tamina. Number 4 was the returning legend Kelly Kelly, former Divas champion. Number 5, Aaliyah from SmackDown. Number 6, one of the favorites to win, Liv Morgan. Number 7, Queen Zelina, who comes in and eliminates Sasha Banks in a surprise elimination. And then immediately, number 8, Bianca Belair comes out. They just missed each other, Sasha and Bianca, after main eventing WrestleMania last year. Let's see. Number 9 was Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke, the 24/7 champion. Number 10, Mrs. Undertaker, Michelle McCool, and she had a great performance. She was an Iron Woman in this one. Of course, you know, the Undertaker's wife, you know, she's got to be booked strong. Number 11, WWE official Sonya Deville. She did not enter the ring immediately. She went over to commentary and sat down for a bit and chatted with the men. Next up, number 12, Natalya comes in. Number 13, returning, Cameron from the Funkadactyls. Oh my goodness. Who remembers the Funkadactyls? Please leave a comment down below. But pretty much, her and Naomi broke into the business together as the Funkadactyls, and they were former tag team partners, even though there was really no women's tag division back in those days. So Sonya gets up from commentary. She goes in. She immediately eliminates Cameron, you know, because she has the ongoing feud with Naomi, and, you know, they're friends, I guess. They're making the connection. Good storytelling right there. I got to hand it to the Women's Rumble for that. Next up, we had Naomi, and she came down and had it out with Sonya Deville and eliminated her. Number 15, we had Carmella, who just hangs out on the outside until number 16, Rhea Ripley, comes down and throws her in the ring. Number 17, SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. Number 18, Ivory, returning legend Ivory, coming down in her right to censor gear. She comes down, cuts a promo on the ladies, calls them disgusting. Rhea Ripley eliminates her pretty quick, though. She doesn't really have a big spot there. Number 19, Brie Bella. Number 20, Hardcore Country, Mickie James makes her return to the company as the Impact Women's Champion and has her Impact theme song. You know, it was good to see. The crowd popped huge for it. It was definitely one of the bigger pops of the night. You know, it's a good get for WWE, but really, are they going to capitalize on that? No, they're just getting Mickie back because she is a returning legend. I feel like there was no other Forbidden Door surprises there wasn't any in the Men's Rumble. There wasn't any more in the Women's Rumble. So this was purely just to grab some headlines. That's pretty much all it was. Number 21, Alicia Fox. If you remember, Noam Dar and Alicia Fox were a couple in 205 Live. Please leave me a comment down below. Some of my favorite TV. Number 22, Nikki ASH. Of course, her and Rhea Ripley are feuding. They were former tag team partners, and they turned on each other. Number 23, Summer Rae. Number 24, you can look, but you can't touch, Nikki Bella. Number 25, a returning Sarah Logan, and there is a nice moment in the ring. Her and Liv Morgan have a Riot Squad reunion. It was pretty cool. Sarah Logan really didn't do anything. She was eliminated rather quickly. Number 26, Lita, returning legend Lita. Her and Charlotte have a stare down because, you know, they had a feud going. Number 27, Mighty Molly Holly, who gets jumped on the outside by Nikki ASH. She says she's the one true superhero, but she's definitely going to turn into a villain, right? She's going to, like, wear black instead of the blue and gold, you know, superhero attire. That's coming eventually. Bold prediction. And then, number 28, Rowdy Ronda Rousey makes her long-awaited return after years. Maybe like a year and a half. Almost 2, probably. She comes down, and I had said before the event, if she is a surprise entrant, she's going to win. So, we'll have to see how that goes. Number 29, we had Shotzi. And number 30, we had Shayna Baszler. Shayna and Ronda have a moment there in the ring, MMA 4 horsewomen reunion. It was good. The final 4 ended up being Shayna, Ronda, Bianca, and Charlotte. Charlotte eliminates Shayna and Bianca at the same time, as Bianca was trying to eliminate Charlotte. And then her and Ronda have a face-off, but Charlotte charges at Ronda, gets a little too overzealous, and Ronda suplexes her out of the ring. Your winner of the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble match, Ronda Rousey, is going on to headline WrestleMania, and then she pointed at the sign. As per tradition, next match on the card, we had Doudrop versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. And I gotta hand it to this match, the friends I was watching with, shout out to you guys. Y'all weren't really feeling this match, but I thought it was a great women's division match. The story really was both ladies giving each other all that they have and still not being able to put them away. But this is another match. Seth Roman, and then this one. I recommend going back and watching. Tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments. Becky retains after she hits a second rope manhandle slam on Doudrop. She tried several times to do the manhandle slam, but either Doudrop, was too strong and reversed it, or Becky didn't have the strength to get her up, but she finally got her in a position on the second rope, and she hits her with it, so that gets the win. Becky is still your champion, so with Ronda winning the Rumble and Becky retaining the belt, is that the match? Or does she go the Charlotte route? Or do we have another triple threat at WrestleMania like we did a couple years ago that main evented the whole show? Let me know what you think in the comments. I don't really know where I'm leaning right now. We'll find out on Raw, because Ronda's probably going to have a promo, is what I'm assuming. But more on that when it happens. Next up, we had a great video package for Lashley versus Lesnar. And then we had the match. Bobby Lashley with MVP versus Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman. This was, as you would think, these two muscly guys, really going at it. There was a spear attempt on the outside. How I said that there was going to be a spear through the barricade, but it was a dodged spear through the barricade, and Lashley ended up going through it. But this was, a strongman versus strongman match. There was suplexes, and Brock really put a lot of suplexes on Lashley. But Roman, after a ref bump, comes out, lays out Brock Lesnar, asks Paul Heyman for the WWE Championship, and Paul Heyman doesn't even hesitate. He gives it to his tribal chief. He gives it. Roman looks disgusted that he's even holding the WWE Championship. Hits Brock with it. Lashley crawls over, gets the pin. Bobby Lashley, you look like Bobby Lashley, is your new WWE Champion. Who would have guessed? It was pretty 50-50 on paper until you saw where it was on the card. But I strongly felt like Brock was going to retain here, and we were going to get our champion versus champion match at WrestleMania. But they decided to go the Lashley route here, and I'm happy about that. Good for Lashley. He's a 2-time WWE champion now. Great. Hopefully they have something good and meaty for him come WrestleMania season. Or come WrestleMania. We are in the heart of WrestleMania season now, so we'll have to see. Next up, we had The Miz and Maryse versus Edge and Beth Phoenix in mixed tag team action. And this is what you would expect it to be. One thing I did like about this match, though, Maryse started off, looking like a novice, looking like, she couldn't compete in a wrestling ring. But as the match went on, she did a couple more moves and really did look like a credible wrestler. You know, she is a former Divas champion. I didn't watch during that era, but, you know, from going back and reviewing old stuff, I know that. So, but it wasn't enough for Miz and Maryse. Edge and Beth hit a double spear, and then they hit stereo glam slams on Miz and Maryse, and Edge gets the pin over Miz. You know, predictable. Definitely was the lock of the night. Unless, you know, Becky, if you considered Becky a lock over Doudrop. But that match was competitive, at least. So you never really knew. And now, what you've all been waiting for. It's time for the main event. 30 men Royal Rumble match. We started off with AJ Styles, number 1. Shinsuke Nakamura, number 2. This is a good New Japan callback right here. This is how the match was supposed to start. I did call Austin Theory to come out number 2 and be an Iron Man for a while, but he came out number 3 and wasn't really an Iron Man. This match was really not booked the way that I thought they were going with it. They probably didn't even know where they were going with it at Showtime, so it's hard to say. But number 4, we had Robert Roode. Number 5, we had Ridge Holland. Number 6, Montez Ford. Number 7, Damian Priest. Number 8, Sami Zayn. And that was followed up by number 9, Johnny Knoxville. And we had a bunch of fun spots. Johnny Knoxville hits a couple of the wrestlers. You know, he really gave it his all. He wanted to main event WrestleMania, but he gets a bunch of moves. He gets a frog splash from Montez Ford. And he gets unceremoniously, there we go, easy for me to say, dumped out of the ring. Johnny Knoxville is eliminated. Number 10, we had Angelo Dawkins. Number 11, we had Omos, and he comes in and cleans house. He had a bunch of, you know, big man spots, as the Rumble is known for. Number 12, Ricochet. Number 13, Chad Gable. He comes in and rallies the troops, you know, to go against Omos. He sends Damian Priest in there first, but Priest gets eliminated by Omos. So they finally team up and they eliminate Omos. So the problem is gone. Number 14, Dominic Mysterio. Number 15, Happy Corbin. Number 16, Dolph Ziggler. Number 17, Sheamus. Number 18, Rick Boogs. Number 19, Madcap Moss, who eliminates AJ Styles. Unreal. Number 20, Riddle. 21, a returning Drew McIntyre, who gets in there. He arrived in the mail and he came down and eliminated both Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin. Kevin Owens, 22. Rey Mysterio, 23. Kofi Kingston, 24. Otis enters at 25. Big E enters at 26. 27, surprise entrant, Bad Bunny. He's back. I kind of hinted that I think he might be in there, and he did have a hype package earlier in the night, so you had to figure that it was a possibility. You know, people make fun of me for liking Bad Bunny. I don't even care, man. Y'all are haters. And he has a great performance. He hits a destroyer on Riddle. You know, move of the night, in my opinion. Number 28, here comes the money. Shane McMahon, a returning legend. Really the only true return, besides Bad Bunny, but he's a celebrity guy, of the night. Kind of disappointing, you know. I had thought, maybe Kurt Angle was going to come back, or X-Pac. Nothing like that. It was just pretty standard, boring Rumble. 29, Randy Orton gets the hometown pop. The crowd loves Randy. And at number 30, we get Brock Lesnar. Nobody knew Brock was in the match, but he comes down. He cleans house. And that gives us our final 6 when Brock comes in. So Brock, Bad Bunny, Riddle, Randy Orton, Shane McMahon, and Drew McIntyre are your final 6. Brock eliminates Orton. The crowd hates it. The crowd hates it a lot, you know. They know what's coming. They can see the writing on the wall. Then Bad Bunny eats an F5. Oh, much respect. Mucho respect for Bad Bunny, man, because that was a nasty F5. And then Brock throws him out. Riddle gets overzealous charging in, and Brock throws him over. Then he clotheslines Shane over the top rope. And the final two are Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. This is a good callback to a couple years ago in the Rumble when Drew won it. But Brock eliminates Drew after some fighting to get the win. Your winner of the men's 2022 Royal Rumble, Brock Lesnar. And I gotta say, you know, as far as where they could have gone, there was a lot more people that could have won the Rumble, that it could have helped their career. Brock did not need to win the Rumble. He's already a former winner. He's a former champion. And Roman had already screwed him over. So what is the point of him? That's the motivation for the Mania match. They don't even need Brock to win the Rumble. I read somewhere this morning that Riddle was penciled in to win the Rumble, and I really would have been into that idea. I think if Riddle won the Rumble and then Randy won the WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber, or, you know, closer to WrestleMania, and the RK Bro feud could have began, and that could have been a great match at WrestleMania. But, you know, I don't want to harp on it too much. Plenty of people have been doing that online, saying it's the worst Rumble in years. You know, it was still a fun show, and I did enjoy watching it. So I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5, just a little above average, especially for that Shane Roman, or Seth Roman rather, especially for that match. You know, that match really kicked the show off in a good way. So yeah, guys, that is Cream's review of the 2022 Royal Rumble. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for more Cream reviews in the future. Hey, but until next time, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.